Hi talented people, my name is Rina. Thank you for clicking to watch this video. Finally 2020 is coming to an end, and it's time to look forward to a new year and of course a new bullet journal. Time to say goodbye to my old bullet journal. It served me well as my very first bullet journal. It kind of represents this year for me. It's falling apart, spreads are poorly designed and drawn, lots of empty pages, but I still have love and appreciation for it. Now that it's time to retire it though, I'm looking forward to using the new journal. As you can see, it's a Leuchtturm 1917 in this beautiful red-orange color. It's not the most popular notebook in the community anymore, but I still like it. My setup is going to be quite easy and minimal and very beginner friendly. So if you want to see how I set up the new notebook, keep watching and enjoy. I'm starting with the key and name pages. This is a plain white page and I don't have any sense of spatial balance, to be quite honest. So I've prepared a piece of dotted paper to help me write everything straight. My keys are quite simple, and to be honest, this is not the page I refer to often, but I felt that it's needed to be in the bullet journal. I may skip it next time though. Next is the title page. I didn't think too long about this page and simply wrote Hello 2021 in a combination of print and cursive writing, which I outlined with my trusted Pigma Micron liner. To decorate, I used the Sakura gel pen in gold, but if you don't have a gold pen, you can substitute with any colored pen you have. I draw random little swooshes and dots around the writing to give it a bit of a sparkle and outline them with a liner so they're more defined. Next is probably the most important and useful page of the whole setup, the grid page. There's a lot of information on how to set up and use grid spacing pages on YouTube if you search for it. For example, Plant-Based Bride made a whole video about it. Amanda Rachley did a couple times too. So I'm not going to explain this page too much because I do it in exactly the same way as everyone else. Except I often measure things with a ruler instead of counting individual spaces, as it's faster in my opinion. For example, I know that to divide a page in half horizontally, I need to count 13 spaces, but it's faster to measure 6.5 centimeters. I also draw a lot more guides on this page than most other YouTubers do, and to help distinguish them visually, I use different colors. For example, I have guides on how to divide a page horizontally into halves, thirds, and quarters, but also into fifths and even sixths little sections. I also have guides that include spaces between the sections and guides that don't. So I have guides for all occasions. Also, a side note, I find it very annoying that this particular notebook is 37 spaces vertically, which doesn't divide into two neat identical halves. The bottom half always ends up one space longer than the upper half. The right page will be a quote page. The quote says, "Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow." I think it's a good message to be motivated by in 2021. We definitely need to learn from the mistakes of this past year and have some hope for a better future. And also not forget to live in the moment and enjoy the small things in life. The structure of this quote allows to lay it out very symmetrically on the page and to highlight the three words, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, by writing them in a different font. To decorate the quote, I draw a frame around it with very simple leaves and color them in with the same gold gel pen I used before. And please don't mind that the frame is very crooked. I'm still very bad at freehanding lines. Of course, no yearly setup is complete without a year at a glance page. I use mine to mainly keep track of some important holidays, events, and birthdays. It's a pretty simple layout with 6 long boxes on each page. Each box is 7 by 14. The top half of each box will contain a calendar for each month, and on the bottom half, I'll leave a space to write all the important dates and events. I write year at a glance on top in big block letters and decorate with pretty arrows drawn in gold gel pen. The only other color I use here and also throughout the setup is a gray marker. So you basically only need 3 tools for the whole setup: a liner, a gray marker, and a gold gel pen. Moving on, next is a series of various lists that I want to keep track of for the entire year. On this page, I'll have my goals and a bucket list for the year. I write the words in big cursive letters and decorate them with simple branches and leaves. I decided not to color in the leaves with the gold pen, but you can do so if you want. To make the layout more interesting, I divided it with an asymmetrical line drawn with a gold pen. I continue this line on both sides and draw an arrow on each end to tie in with the arrows I drew on the previous spread. I also divide the goals section into 3 smaller sections because I'm going to have 3 different categories of goals: personal, family, and professional, and you will see me write the categories a bit later in the video. For now, let's move on to the next page, where I set up the watch list and the read list. Watch list is, of course, for any movies or TV shows that I'm interested in watching, and the read list is for books that I want to read. I'm not an avid reader these days, unfortunately, and I would like to reignite my love for books in 2021. So I'm setting myself a goal of reading at least 20 books in 2021. Is that realistic? I don't know if I'll even find the time to read, but I'm going to try. So please leave book recommendations in the comments for me. Moving on, I'm not done with lists quite yet. Here I'm going to have a want list for any things I want to buy for myself in the next year, and also gift ideas for things that I want to give to others. In the previous journal, I had a whole page set up for both gift ideas and a want list, but I ended up not filling them in all the way. So this time I decided to dedicate only half a page to each. Let's see how it goes. Next is going to be my savings page. I debated for some time whether I want to have this page in my journal at all, because I actually have a whole spreadsheet for tracking budget. But I thought that it will be very satisfying to fill in a savings tracker as I put money in my savings account. So the way it works is I set a goal of saving a certain amount, let's say $10,000. I divide this number into pieces, let's say by $2,000, and I draw a bar for each piece. Every time I put $2,000 towards this goal, I color in one bar and write down the date of the transaction. Once every bar is colored in, the goal is achieved. Next spread is going to be something I'm doing for the first time, and it's a period tracker. I usually track my periods in an app on my phone, but I thought why not having a tracker in my journal as well? I don't know what purpose it will have yet, and I hope I'll find it along the way. I'm writing the first letters of each month at the top, and you'll notice that I wrote 14 months instead of 12. That's because I actually started this journal back in November, and I'm only doing the setup now. This tracker works similarly to my habit tracker. If you've seen my previous video, I use a single big box to track my habits. The bottom of this box is so uneven because there are different numbers of days in the months. To decorate, I draw a hexagonal pattern on the sides with a gold pen. I think it looks pretty, and you will see me repeat this pattern later in the video in another spread. On the right page is a simple fitness tracker. Well, actually, it's not so much as a fitness tracker, but I didn't know what else to call it. Here I'm going to track my measurements and my weight. I draw a table for measurements with columns to write down the date and the actual measurements of my waist and hips, and I don't remember what the B stands for in this case. It could be bust or it could be boobs. I don't know why I didn't write C for chest, but whatever. On the bottom is a big box where I'm going to track my weight with a line graph. The x-axis is for dates and the y-axis is for kilograms. And I'm using a scale from 50 to 61 because that's where my weight normally fluctuates. Actually, it's closer to 60, but I'm hoping to bring it lower. Next spread. This one is called Perfect Day, and it's for, well, visualizing what my perfect day would look like. It's designed similarly to the period tracker you saw earlier, except the hexagonal pattern is on the top portion of the page rather than the sides. I divide the page with the 24-hour scale, but my scale starts at 10 a.m. because that's when usually my day starts. With the gold pen, I divide this scale into sections. Each section can be from 1 hour long to 8 hours, depending on the activity. And then I write the activities to the left and right of the scale, alternating between the sides. And yes, my workday starts and ends a lot later than most people. Finally, the last spread is going to be the themes spread. I saw another YouTuber do this, I don't remember who exactly. I love this idea so much because when it's filled in all the way at the end of the year, it looks very pretty and colorful. Basically, what you do is you draw boxes, one box for each month, and you fill the boxes with the same design as the theme of the corresponding month. Kind of like a thumbnail for each monthly theme. A simple branch with golden leaves to fill the empty corner, and the spread and the whole setup is finished. Please stay for the final flip through and thank you for watching. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. Bye!